A New World Order by Prema Bala Subramanian. It was a late Sunday evening on 5th April 2020. Every household in Sahodaya enclave was a beehive of activity. Dinner at the Mathur household was ready before time that day, and Priya and Rajat were at the dining table without having been called repeatedly. They did not complain about the food. In fact, Priya went back to the kitchen with her plate and complimented her mother.
Thanks, Ma, for the brinjal curry. It was delicious.
Her mother was dumbstruck, as Priya would usually throw fits every time this vegetable was cooked. At 8:55 p.m., all the residents of Sahodaya enclave came to the balconies or verandas of their houses and started arranging the diyas and candles. There was a look of joyous anticipation on each face for the clock to strike 9 and a sense of gratitude in every heart as they waited to salute the frontline warriors of COVID-19, the pandemic that was wreaking havoc around the world for the last few weeks or so. These first responders were India's doctors, nurses, healthcare workers, paramedics, ambulance drivers, and street vendors who were going from door to supply fruits, vegetables, and milk every day. The frontline warriors everywhere were taking the lead in fighting against an invisible enemy with immense courage and fortitude. The time had come. Lights in all the houses of the apartment society and all over the country went off at 9 o'clock, and the diyas glowed, the candles glimmered, and the torchlights threw strong beams all around. Even mobile phones flashed their lights to express the country's gratitude to these brave men and women.
I think it's really brave of our first responders to have ventured out into infected areas as we continue to stay in the comfort of our homes,
said Rajat.
Yes,
said his grandfather.
a number of these men and women are working 16 to 18 hours a day with little rest. They may not even have met their families for weeks on end, but they do not complain.
I've also read about ambulance drivers who are performing their duties round the clock and have no respite whatsoever,
said Priya in a serious tone. Also, health workers are disinfecting every locality and attending to waste disposal meticulously. The police too are working day and night to ensure that everyone adheres to the guidelines of the lockdown, said their grandmother.
And don't forget your teachers, who are trying their best to make your online classes innovative and informative so that you don't lose out on your studies,
said their father, Mr. Mathur. Everyone was then quiet for a few minutes. They were thinking about the drastic way in which their routine had been affected. The neighbors in their housing society were helping the elderly who avoided going out of their houses as they stood a great risk of contracting the virus. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning, a van containing vegetables and fruits would wait at the main gate of Sahodaya enclave. The residents would then queue up in an orderly fashion, with all of them wearing masks and maintaining strict social distancing of at least 2 meters between them. Priya and Rajat too were being careful. They covered their mouth and nose with tissue when sneezing or coughing, and would never forget to throw the tissues away into a separate dustbin so that this waste could be handled differently. Many people engaged in philanthropic activities, lending a helping hand to those in distress. The ladies of Sahodaya enclave, for instance, took turns to cook hot lunch every day and distribute food packets among the workers in the neighborhood who were presently without a job.
We'll certainly win this battle against COVID-19,
said their grandfather, who intuitively knew what his grandchildren were thinking. Their grandmother added, "We just have to show discipline at all times. Not only must we be safe, but we must also ensure the safety and well-being of others." Their mother joined in.
Use this time to enrich yourselves, children. Learn a word a day
And pursue your hobbies as you have more time on your hands now. Most importantly, stay home and stay safe.